This segment of DelmarvaLife is brought to you by Johnson's All-Scapes.
Could your yard use a little more beautification? Maybe you've always wanted your own dream pool or oasis. I think at one point or another we've all had a fantasy of having a luxurious personal landscape full of luscious greenery and iconic stonework.
Yeah, buddy. And one particular company is using everything from drone footage to 3D rendering software to make these fantasies a reality. Leah Rizzo has the scoop with Johnson's All-Scapes, where no landscaping project is too big or too small.
Hard work and determination. That's what brought TJ Johnson from the humble beginnings of mowing lawns and pool work for friends and family to making your landscaping dreams come true with Johnson's All-Scapes.
Anything from construction to pools to patios to landscaping, irrigation, lighting, fencing, you name it, we do it.
With all the services provided, you may assume that Johnson's All-Scapes would need to subcontract out some of that work. If you've dealt with subcontractors before, you know it can be frustrating. So TJ and the team handle everything they can in-house to make sure your landscaping projects are not only exactly what you want, but are also completed in a timely manner.
I tried to use subcontractors. They wouldn't show up. They wouldn't stand behind their work. They'd give me every excuse in the book. And I said, you know what, I can't go like this because it's on my contract. It makes me look bad. And I said, I can't do this. I got to make a change. And I said, if this is how it's going to be, then I'm just going to hire my own guys. And then that way I have control. I can say who's here this day and who's there. And if something happens, I can tell them we're going back and fixing it. I'm not going to make an excuse.
We're Johnson's All-Scapes!
Another advantage to using a hand-picked team, TJ knows just how much training and experience his people have.
So I had to go out here and pick this concrete guy, and I had to go pick this installer for irrigation, and I had to pick this guy for my waterfalls. And I picked them individually, and I only wanted the best. I didn't just go out here and pick the random guys, and I did my homework. I found out who was good, who wasn't happy where they were at, and I asked them to join my team.
Another thing that sets Johnson's All-Scapes apart from other landscaping companies is just how available TJ makes himself to his customers.
You're not calling the office when you call Johnson's. You get my direct cell phone number at all times. I do respond whether I want to or not. I mean, some people do take advantage of it. I get the night calls, I do get the weekend calls, I get the texts, I get all that. But it's what I signed up for.
Part of having his finger on the pulse of his own company includes when homeowners want to make changes to their landscaping plans. Of course, TJ accommodates changes, but not without letting homeowners know what to expect with those changes throughout a project.
So what ends up happening is we get into these bigger projects where it does have a pool, a patio, a waterfall, landscaping, a pool house, everything. It's so evolved, it's so much detail into it that once we get rolling, the homeowners say, oh, well, I think we should do this, or let's change this. So if we do that, then that means we have to order materials, which means there's going to be delays. So if we tell you 12 weeks, well, if the material will come in for another 3 weeks, now we're not at 12 weeks no more. We're at 15 weeks. So let's say we're not at your project anymore because we're waiting on materials. We have to start somebody else's property. You can't expect us to come back right away. So we will come back as soon as we're done with the other people to keep it fair for them, but we will come back and finish your project.
Johnson's All-Scapes is truly changing the way the landscaping industry builds and works with customers. Using top technology like 3D renderings and drone footage, designer and project manager Mark Frostrom helps customers visualize and realize their dreams.
The videos we create, allows them to see the project before we ever start, so they can understand, what we want to sell them.
Mark echoes TJ in emphasizing just how much training their team goes through to make sure you get the backyard of your dreams, as Johnson's continues to do what others don't.
We carve rocks here. We make artificial rock. That may sound simple, but it's fairly difficult, and it does require some artistic skill. I traveled with my cousin probably 10 years or so ago out west, and we got professionally trained in that. Unfortunately for me, I still hate the way I do it. Personally, I do. But we have a guy that's a part of the team that I often say he makes real rocks look bad. So he worked for me years in the past. Now he's a part of this team with TJ and I. And every job we do, his skill level just continues to grow. And it's amazing to watch.
TJ, Mark, and the rest of the crew at Johnson's All-Scapes all take great pride in their work and the extensive training each one of them has completed. But for TJ, the most important thing he does is help families make memories.
Walking into somebody's backyard and with absolutely blank slate, and then walking out of there giving them a backyard of their dreams. It's very rewarding, very humbling. See people cry, you know that they're going to have years of memories with their kids and birthdays and all that, and it means a lot to me that I'm able to create things, or we are able to create things that these families are going to have for a lifetime.
You know, it can be hard to visualize what your backyard space is actually going to become when all you've got is a flat blueprint, but the 3D rendering helps paint the picture of that beautiful space that your dream backyard can be.
So they can take it from up here and put it there.
Right there.
I like that.
There you go.
I like that a lot.